we're approaching Christmas, and if ever there's a tree or a shrub or a plant that is indicative of Christmas, it's this, the humble holly, Ilex aquifolium, if I remember right, from my gardening days many years ago. But it's a real beauty. It's producing masses of beautiful orange red berries this year. But is it any good for invertebrates? Holly is beautiful, especially beautiful during the winter months. If you want a splash of colour in your garden or in your countryside, you can't go much better than looking for hollies. And the berries are in profusion this year. Holly's had a great year for flowering, and now is brilliantly coloured and covered in bright red berries. And the berries, of course, are very typical of Christmas. I always remember when we were young that as much as having a Christmas tree in the house, we had sprigs of holly. Hung a sprig of holly in pretty much over every window downstairs and every door. There's probably some old meaning in that dating back hundreds of years, but we always had a lot of holly in the house, and not in wreaths, just a sprig of holly. Of course, holly is well used commonly in wreaths, especially when it's covered in bright red berries such as this. It's a great berrying year for hollies, and most hollies that you look at will be covered in these, but they'll also be covered in something else. Something that you've probably seen, wondered what it was, and left it at that. And it's this. This is the leaf mine of Phytomyza illicis, which is a small, probably rather uninteresting fly. I can't remember actually ever having seen one, and I'm as guilty as everybody else in not recording this, and yet it's everywhere. It's probably one of our most under-recorded invertebrates and leaf mines that we have here in the UK, and almost certainly in Nottinghamshire. There's probably not that many records or modern day records of these. The Victorians and the Edwardians may well have gone round looking for these, but this little leaf miner, it's the only leaf miner that mines the leaves of holly. Holly, tremendously tough, leathery leaves, and on many of those tough, leathery, dark green leaves will be this pale, squiggly sort of pattern, almost like a blotching, and it's the leaf mine made by the larva. So I'm as guilty as anybody. I've never sent a record in of this, and yet I've seen it everywhere. Pretty much wherever you've got holly, no matter how large or small that holly is, there'll be one of these on it. You can guarantee it, whether that's in an urban setting or somewhere like here, like Sherwood Forest. There's another interesting little fact about holly, and that's the prickly leaves. Those prickly leaves are only found on the lower parts of holly. The higher up you go, the less the leaves are spiny, and that's purely to stop animals like deer from grazing it. Not that I think that they would do anyway, but it's quite an unusual fact about holly. The next time you look particularly at a large holly, much larger than this weedy little specimen here, have a look at the lower leaves. The lower leaves will be incredibly spiny and prickly like this, and then the leaves higher up will be more or less just oval shaped and devoid of spines. Quite an interesting plant, holly. very successful really. It's great for the birds, for the winter thrushes like redwings and fieldfares, because they come over and they'll feed these berries, as will blackbirds. So it's a fabulous food resource for many birds and certainly a number of mammals too. In terms of Lepidoptera, it's absolutely useless. There's one or maybe two Tortrix moths that will feed on this that I know to, and apart from that, nothing will touch it. So I suppose really, in terms of being attacked, nothing's got it better than holly. Certainly this little Phytomyza illicits larva, which is tucked away in here, you can find them right throughout the winter months, isn't going to do any damage to a shrub, a prickly shrub like holly.